everybody, my name is Janaya Toye and this is my channel where I talk about whatever I want. So in today's video I thought I'd talk a little bit about my experience busking here in Norwich. I mean, it's been a while because of the whole COVID thing, but yeah. So I quite enjoy busking. It's great because you can just sit there playing violin, you know, and people just walk past and give you money. And sometimes they'll say a quick hello, they'll be like, oh, that's so beautiful, oh, thank you. And I'll be like, oh, thank you. Or I'll just give them the nod if I'm still playing, you know. Yeah, just nod. Now, I like that because I get a little bit of social interaction, but not too much that it's overwhelming. I like it. I love it here in Norwich specifically for that. I hate it here in Norwich, but I love it here in Norwich specifically because people talk, but not too much. You know, it's great. So, what kind of pieces do people like to hear? So, generally in the, you know, spring, early summer, I'll play something slow and beautiful. I play a lot of Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. You know, stuff that people know. That usually gets you a little bit here and there. You know, people love songs that they know. It's great. As for stuff maybe when it's darker or a little bit more grim, I'll play something a little more upbeat. That's why I got my book of jigs, reels and hornpipes, traditional fiddle tunes from England, Ireland and Scotland. There we go. I was about to say Irish, English and Scottish jigs, reels and hornpipes, but yeah, same thing. Now, I want to talk about one specific experience I had. So I had been busking that day. I'd made quite a bit of money. I think it was like 48. Literally, it was double numbers. £48 and 48 pence. It was great, alright? It was a good day for me. So, I've made my money, and I'm now walking home, like you do, tra-la-la-la-la, and I see a lady who I saw while I was busking. You know, she caught my eye, but I didn't really think anything of it. I just kept playing. And I saw her, and she was like, oh, you're the girl with the violin, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, oh, I saw you, but I didn't have any change to give you. But you were really good, you know? And it was great, 'cause it's like, oh, thank you. And then she was like, here, I bought these, I want you to have them. And she got me these adorable little fingerless gloves. And honestly, these are so warm. I've been wearing them ever since. Like, these are my violin playing gloves. I can actually play violin in these gloves. And it's so useful because she just stopped by and was like, here, have a pair of gloves. And I was like, thank you. Like, you have no idea how happy that made me, that someone actually remembered who I was and then came and gave me a gift. It was so, like, it melted my little heart. It melted my little witch heart, you know. But yeah, so never let anyone say that the only people you meet are creeps. Because I've met like one in my entire busking career of like a year and a half or 2 years. I think it was about a year and a half before I stopped because of the whole pandemic. But yeah, in my year and a half of busking, I only had one creep. And it was a drunk guy who was just getting a bit too into the dancing and kept talking to me and was like, hey, can you play this? Can you play it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like I said, I like social interaction, but not too much. It can get very overwhelming, you know? But yeah, so in my entire year and a half of busking, I've only ever had one creep, and I've had several nice people come up to me and say, oh, your violin's very beautiful, you know? I met a cello maker at one point, and he was like, are you playing the violin or the viola? Because my violin has got such a beautiful, like, deep tone to it. It almost sounds like a viola when I'm playing low down on the G string. But I was like, no, it's a violin. And he looked at it, he looked it over, he was like, are you sure? And he's like, huh. But yeah, so the cello maker thought I was playing a viola, which would be embarrassing because we all know what we think about violas. We love violists. Violists are beautiful. Violists are great. But violas... I mean, come on. But yeah. So I, had a cello maker come up to me and say that my violin had a beautiful deep tone to it, because on the G string and the D string it's beautiful. And I've had, I remember there was this one, I think he was Scottish man, and he came over to me and was like, that was beautiful. And I heard his accent and I was like, oh, you have a beautiful accent, sir. And he said, oh, thank you, I come from Highlands somewhere. He said somewhere in the Highlands, I can't remember, I feel so bad now. But yeah, so he was like, yeah, I come from the Highlands. And I was like, oh, I know this beautiful song that I learned for a group of elderly people who came down from the Scottish Highlands. And I played a piece called Skyboat Song. Do 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 do. It's, I think they changed the lyrics for the Outlander theme, which is now the version that everyone knows, unfortunately. But I know the original version, and that just, that makes me feel very happy. And also a little bit smug, because I know the original version. It's about Bonnie Prince Charlie. But yeah, other experiences while busking. Other buskers, right, that is a mix, it's kind of a mixed bag, other buskers. Most of them are great. I get on great with Hayley and Ben, who are the opera duo. They're brilliant, we get on great. There's another violinist, well, there are two other violinists. There are 3 violinists in Norwich who busk, who I know of. I'm one of them. Then there's a tall lad, right? He's really tall, and he, plays a lot of like jazz and like, upbeat kind of stuff, and he uses tracks, right? But then you get it on like ultimate level, and there's this dude, he plays violin on a tightrope with tracks. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And then he recognised me. Like, I recognised him as the guy who, plays violin on a tightrope. He recognised me as the girl who plays violin in skirts and dresses, because I do. But it was honestly so sweet. Like, I know a lot of the buskers. Also, there's this one guy who used to busk just outside of this fast food place called Cosmos. He used to busk there, but we haven't seen him in a while since the whole lockdown started, and everyone's been super worried about him. I think only one person's seen him, and that was in Great Yarmouth. But we've all been super worried about him. But just the community of buskers in Norwich, it's brilliant. Like, I love hanging out with other buskers because we all know each other. I'm just the violin girl, and Hayley and Ben are the opera duo. Emma Newell, she's the opera girl. Everyone just knows everyone. Everyone just knows everyone in Norwich. It's, well, buskers do. Not everyone, but, buskers know other buskers. Everyone knows the buskers, And it's great because we all get along and it's like a little family. And I told Hayley and Ben about my plans to go on this trip around the UK, and they have been so supportive, They're so nice. All of the buskers in Norwich are so nice. I think it's because, like, none of us need a licence or anything and everyone just knows everyone. But yeah. So that was a little bit about my experience busking here in Norwich. It's been fun, so like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this video around if you think it would help other people get into busking. And yeah, I'll see you next time, YouTube. Bye!